We'll call the meeting to order. First thing, discuss possibly recommend council action regarding an expenditure in the amount of $38,175.90 to Boyle Services Incorporated as in the best interest of the city to replace the pool heater at the Pryor Creek Recreational Center from aquatic repair and maintenance account number 848465091. Other bids received. It looks like recreationics.com, okay, in the amount, thank you, of $32,020.77 for a Raypack unit, but it does not include installation. Recreationics.com in the amount of $32,771.83 from Lochavar. Lochinvar, okay, thank you, I appreciate that. Unit, and it does not include installation. K&M Shillingford Incorporated, no bid received in time. Jayco Heat and Air chose not to bid. This is pending Recreational Board approval on March the 1st, 2023, and that happened.
Yes, sir.
Okay, call for a motion.
Motion. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion. Okay, ladies, you'll find in your packet that you have an excerpt from the budget, not the budget, but the
Minutes, or the.
expenditures and everything. Okay. If you look down there on, I've got it highlighted for you, it's 8465091 aquatic repair and maintenance. You're going to find that we have $32,795 in there. Okay. If you look at your agenda, you're going to find out that we're
The
going to.
next page is one more.
Okay.
There's another page.
Yeah. Tricked me
Like,
too.
those are
Sorry?
not at all the
Yeah.
numbers I'm looking at. Okay.
Sorry about that. They're too close. They're only one number apart. Okay, you're going to find out that it looks like we're about $5,380 short in that line item. Okay, this is something that we need to get done. And so we're going to ask to go back to the other page you were on, which is 848455091, repair and maintenance. And you see that we have unexpended $61,872.25 there. So we will probably, we'll ask to go over to there, pull from there, because it's still under the rec board. We'll also have to add $3,000 to that for the next item that we're going to talk about. So it looks like a total of $8,380 will be what we would have to pull from that account. So just so you're on top of stuff. We can't do that tonight. We'll have to do that at another meeting on the 9th because it's not on the agenda. But what we want to talk about and discuss tonight is, do we want to go ahead and repair the heater?
That's not an option.
Right.
That has to be
That's kind of the way I'm seeing
repaired.
it too. It has to be done. It has to be done. So, okay, any further discussion?
No.
Call for a vote.
Could I speak to it?
Yes, Mayor, please.
Join me, Jackie, if you would. So, the reason this comes to you tonight is so that we can get it on council agenda for Tuesday. All right, so to follow the proper procedures, we go rec center, we go budget, and then we go to council. So the reason why the special meeting tonight is so that we can get that done.
Sure.
So Jackie's here to represent the rec center in Jessica's place. She's our assistant out there. Any questions that you might have about any of that process that we've gone through? We have gone through kind of a hellacious process over the last, how long?
Couple of weeks.
Over the last couple of weeks. And so we've gotten some great service, some from some volunteers, some from those who have come out and have repaired, have put Band-Aids on it. And so, having put the Band-Aids on it, I think Jackie assisted with some of those Band-Aids and came out unscathed. That's good. But so that's the reason why we're considering these two items tonight, so that we can send to council, we can get approval, and then we can get those items coming back in.
Sure.
Sure.
Regarding overspending that account, so we have the ability to overspend that account if we reload that account from somewhere else within the rec budget. What we don't want to do is we don't want to change the bottom line of the total rec budget, okay? But we can, within the rec budget, from the 845 account, repair and maintenance account, we can reappropriate money from that 845 account over to the 846 account in the aquatics. We can do that without any trouble. But that needs to be action from budget personnel, and
As a
then it needs to
recommendation.
recommend to council. So what I intend to do is put that recommendation on budget personnel for the 9th, the meeting that's on the 9th, and then it would go to council for approval then on the 21st. So we've got plenty of time to do that. We've got plenty of time to take that action.
Is the heater working at all now?
Yes. So
One of those?
the company that we're actually requesting to go with was able to come out and fix it. So I'm only up at 50%, and this is a temporary solution. They also gave me a spare part so that if what is dying on it goes out, I can go ahead and switch out. He taught me how to do it, so we won't have to have another service call. I just am afraid that if we wait too long, we could go down, and then the next line item, we're gonna go ahead and have to expend that money
Well,
there.
that's kind of what I'm wondering about. I'm kind of wondering about, do we need to have this temporary heater? When we get to that, do we need to have that in service now so that you've got something backing you up?
So,
We have it close at hand, so if something goes haywire, we do have, is
okay.
that correct?
so Boyle Company has what they call renter boilers. And so we have requested, and they have found one that they have on site in Tulsa. So we'd just be getting it from Tulsa to ours, and they can actually just plug it right in where ours, in front of ours, and hook it right up. They believe it's gonna be about 8 hours to do it. So if ours actually goes down again between now and when the new one comes in, we have that option. And
But
I
if we
can,
don't need it, then the $3,000 is not going to be
correct.
spent.
Correct.
But if we do need, this is to
This
vote
is-
on, if we do need it, we can
Exactly.
call, it's already been approved, and then we can
Exactly.
use it, and
We
then we
don't
don't have to wait on an emergency meeting. Got you.
perfect, yes.
I'm glad,
Okay.
because I had a question about that.
Yeah,
So that's kind of moving on to that next item.
it is.
Well,
But that's all right, it's part of the discussion.
Sorry.
so the current heater, how many years has it lasted?
So I do believe, we put it in 2016 or 2017. I was with the rec center from 14 to 17, and we did replace it while I was there. At that time, we just did it as an emergency. We didn't go through this whole process, we just did an emergency, and I don't even remember where the money came out of, I'm not gonna lie. We wanted to kind of do it the correct way this way, if at all possible.
Is that about typical 5 years?
So for the type of unit that we currently have, 5 years is about the lifespan. We've gotten about 7 out of this one, I
That's
think.
good.
6 or 7. And the unit that we're actually looking at getting is actually more designed for what we're gonna utilize it for. It's an actual true boiler system, and it's gonna have more components to it to go ahead and make it easier for us to maintain the water heat.
Oh, good.
So we're super excited.
If I may, also what we have done is we have had HVAC people come and maintain this heat exchanger and boiler. So the HVAC people, although they can possibly do things like that, they don't have the expertise
Right.
to maintain going forward this kind of equipment.
They're not
And
the
so
subject
what-
matter expert that we're
Mhm.
needing
Yeah.
specifically.
So what we would want to do is we would want to engage
Boyle.
Boyle
Boyle,
is the name of the company.
Boyle Services, yes.
Engage them with maintenance going forward, because that's their specialty.
Mhm.
And that will maintain the equipment going forward.
And
Do they have like a warranty that comes with it?
Yes. So, let me back up for just a second. Boyle Services is one of 700 people who are able to actually service this type of boiler system in our capacity across the nation. So they are very specialized in what they do. They understand this equipment very well, very competent. I mean, he was able to come out, look at it, and be like, yep, this is what you need, and okay, and got the parts for me the next day and had it up and running. And I was like, yes.
I talked to the individual that has helped you all Band-Aid this. I talked to him yesterday about this, because I'm like, I don't know anything about it.
So the Lavin Bar looks like for the parts, there's about a 5-year warranty, and we'll get better clarification on all of this. But they went ahead and sent me their warranty on it for the pool heaters, and it does have a 1-year across the board warranty.
Okay.
From what Mayor and I have looked at, it looks like we definitely have a 1-year. There's a possibility of us having a 3-year on the majority of the pieces and parts, and then a 5-year on the heat exchanger, which is what typically is going out in these units. So we're just hopeful that this is gonna help. These also are rated for 15 to 20 years
Okay.
versus what we've been getting out of
Right.
ours.
Right.
And that's again because they've taken the technology through it to make it so that it lasts longer, and there's less of a shock to that system when the cold water comes into it.
Okay.
Now, what we received today was the Lochinvar warranty information. So the reason you don't have that in your packet is because we just received that today. But this will go in the council packet along with this motion if this body chooses to send it on to council.
I'm assuming, Mayor, that you had already asked about a warranty by your reaction of me asking about a warranty.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
Yeah.
due diligence.
Did we leave anything out?
So I'm
so we're looking at basically, if it runs for 5 years, we're saying that we're looking at possibly between $5,000 and $6,000 a year that would be what the depreciation would run on that dude, because,
If you count it by the warranty.
Sure.
But this equipment, you said is,
15.
It
rated.
should last 15 to 20 years, is what I'm being told.
but you said the burner or the heat exchanger itself?
I think if it's used properly, we'll get longer out of it.
Okay, good.
So,
Mhm.
one of the main differences in this unit versus what I have now is it has 2 inlets coming into it. So one of those is gonna continually recirculate the warm water that's already in the boiler, and then the cold water is gonna come into that recirculating water, so that it never gets the shock of that
Okay,
cold against the heat
makes sense.
exchangers. So that'll help eliminate some of the wear and tear on
Expansion
it.
and contraction.
Yes. So once they started talking about these units, I kind of started researching more about them, because I like to know.
Yeah,
But that's where we're looking at right now, and I'm kind of excited about that.
so this one is a copper fin, and they make different kinds of heat exchangers
Mhm.
to go on their equipment, right? So, the copper tube, heat exchangers on copper tube water heater models. This is heat exchanger on copper tube boiler model. And the heat exchanger is listed as a 10-year warranty
Oh, okay.
on this.
That's a lot better.
On this particular one.
so we're looking at around $3,000 a year and that's not bad at all.
No. The other nice piece about this, and this is probably something that the general public doesn't know, in order for us to maintain the water temperature in our pool now, it's set on a timer system. So as the seasons change and whatnot, I have to manually change those timers so that we can maintain. This is actually gonna work just like a thermostat at your house.
Oh, good.
Where you set it, and it'll have a 1 to 2 degree differential, plus or minus from that, which I think is gonna just alleviate a lot of headaches and a lot of stress, because welcome to Oklahoma, 70 degrees the other day and possibly snow tomorrow. So I think this is really gonna be moving in the right direction, and I'm super excited for it.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So do we need to mention that we will take the 32,795 from 84,846,5091, and then the remaining balance from 84,845,5091?
I don't know if we
I
need to
think-
mention
Do we
it.
have to say that?
That will be in the minutes. That will be
Okay.
in the minutes. So because we're having that discussion, that's the reason I wanted to have that discussion tonight.
Okay,
So it will be in the minutes that you see on, for your meeting on March the 9th.
okay,
So there'll be a motion for action to reappropriate money over to the 846 section on March the 9th.
okay.
I think that'll
Thank
cover
you for all of
Appreciate
your
it.
information. That's very impressive.
it. It is. You put a
For
lot of work
both,
into
for both
that.
of you.
Okay, further discussion.
No?
Call for vote?
Shropshire,
Yes.
Barham,
Yes.
Seaver.
Yes.
Number 3, discuss possibly recommend council action regarding the emergency expenditure in the amount of $3,000 to Bull Services Incorporated as in the best interest of the city for rental of a temporary pool heater pending the repair efforts to keep the old heater working efficiently until the new heater is installed. This is pending recreational board approval on March 1st, 2023, and that happened. Okay, call for a motion.
Motion?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion. I think we pretty much
Pretty much
discussed
covered
that.
it.
So,
Well, do they have a heater, or is this gonna be a supply issue?
Okay, so Boyle Services has one at their Tulsa location. So if for some reason ours goes down and we are unable to repair it with the parts that I have currently on hand, if they come out and they cannot repair it with the parts that they can get quickly on hand, we will have time to go ahead and get this moved over into our location and set up. And like they say we'll be down roughly 8 hours.
Okay.
The only reason we'd have to have the pool completely shut down is if they have to shut down the circulation pump. Otherwise, we should be able to keep it up and running
Good.
for at least most of that trial period.
Okay.
okay.
And where's the $3,000 coming from?
Well,
Which
actually,
line?
we're gonna probably go right back to the same,
Same line item that it
Same.
was before?
yeah,
The 84,845,5091?
yeah, the one that has 61,000 in it, that's where it would come from.
So it really just, it would be 8 total between the
Yeah.
difference plus the 3 would be 83,8090? Oh, you got it right there. Look at you.
So anyway, that's where
That's
that,
why you're in charge of the show.
right. Okay, further discussion?
No?
Thank you.
Okay, call for a vote.
Barham,
Yes.
Seaver,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes. Okay, then I guess the next thing we need to do is have a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion. Call for a vote.
Seaver,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes,
Barham.
Yes.
we are adjourned. Thank
On the
you.
9th.